morning commute. It's not looking too good, but we're going to take it from Ontario to the east coast, where we also have quite a bit of active weather, and it's in the form of a nor'easter. Another one. I know it just seems like they keep coming, but 'tis the season. So we're seeing widespread precipitation through Atlantic Canada Monday through until Wednesday. Now, depending on where you are in Atlantic Canada, depends on what type of precipitation you will see. That's your marker. So as we look to New Brunswick, we're looking at snow. For northern regions, we could see 10 to 15 centimeters accumulate through Tuesday. And as we track further to the east, we're looking at rain. So it transitions. Anywhere in Halifax and Nova Scotia, we're looking at between 30 and 45 millimeters of rain. So it's going to be a very wet start to your work and school week. Make sure you pack the umbrellas for the kids. And we're going to be seeing some mixing through Fredericton. Heading further north, well, snow, Newfoundland, and that's going to be in the form, it's going to be quite strong actually, 10 to 20 centimeters accumulating for Corner Brook and Deer Lake through Tuesday. Now those are at a higher elevation, and we also have Gulf effect snow, and that's why we're seeing so much snow there. As we track further east, it changes to rains. We have that mixing, and then St. John's, we see the rain looking at anywhere from 15 to 30 centimeters to accumulate by Tuesday. Now let's track further to the west. Let's go to the prairies now, where we've really been seeing those cool temperatures and quite a bit of snow as well. Take a look here. We have, oh, that looks quite nasty. Lots of flurries. This was from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, Monday. You are looking at a high of 11 degrees, sunny, but we also have some flurries thrown in the mix there as well. Thank you so much for sending us that video. We always love to receive our viewers' photos and videos, and if you would like to upload any of those, only if it's safe to do so, you can do that at upload.theweathernetwork.com. But back to our story here, well, through northwestern Ontario, Pickle Lake, and down towards the Marathon, we're seeing really heavy snow. So do you have your snow tires on like I do? I certainly hope so, because your drive, it's going to be a little bit of a wet one. Wind chills, well, Winnipeg, overnight Sunday, minus 23. That's what it's feeling like when we factor in that wind. So we are well below the seasonal average for this time of year, and that's a trend that's really going to continue as we head through the week. We have a ridge of high pressure that's really holding in all of that really cold air. As we track on Monday further to the west coast, we're seeing milder conditions and sunny skies for Monday through until Wednesday for Vancouver, and we're sitting right around that seasonal norm of 9 degrees. So it's going to be a nice start to your work and school week, but come Wednesday afternoon, we begin to get back into some of those showers, unfortunately. So you can see this low pressure system off the Atlantic moving in towards the west coast, but again, that high pressure, we're seeing all of those cold temperatures really stagnant throughout our prairies. So Victoria, again, beautiful week ahead. Now stay tuned. More of our storm watch coverage. Please give yourself some extra time, because you are going to need it to get the kids to school, to get to work. Better slow than sorry. Right? All right, let's take you to the East Coast, where we have quite a bit of active weather as well. The story just continues. And right now, radar tracking to the east. So we're seeing a lot of snow through southern Quebec. This is good news for areas like Mount Tremblant, where next Friday, the 21st of November, they're opening up the mountains. So they definitely want to see that snow begin to accumulate so the skiers and snowboarders can get out and enjoy what the winter has to offer. So there we go. There's our numbers. Mount Tremblant looking at anywhere between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow to accumulate through Tuesday. And this snow band really continues as we track to the east coast, particularly through New Brunswick. We're looking at anywhere from 10 to 15 centimeters, a little bit less when we see the area slightly highlighted, slightly in a lighter blue color. And this is similar story. The snow for the western coast of Newfoundland, Corner Brook and Deer Lake looking at 10 to 20 centimeters. Now, keep in mind, this is a little bit higher than what we're seeing through other areas of Newfoundland, because we have Gulf effect snow and we also have a higher elevation. All right, let's change gears and head to Alberta. Well, it was quite a chilly morning on Friday. Yikes. And unfortunately, that trend is really going to continue through the week. The prairies really feeling that ridge of high pressure that is making those temperatures absolutely freezing. Make sure you're bundling up the kids before they go to school and bundling up yourself as well. So here's the temperature contrast. Edmonton on Saturday, we saw minus 15, so that is chilly. Stay tuned. Our storm watch coverage continues after this. Yes, Nadine, you're right. Over the next 24 hours, we're looking at more of the snow story, unfortunately. But hey, the holidays are on the way, so why not get into the holiday spirit and just embrace the snow? How much are we looking at? Well, we are looking at, in the areas highlighted in light blue, anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, good news for Mount Tremblant. Ski resort is opening next Friday. 10 to 15 centimeters on tap for you through Tuesday. So that's great news if you want to get out early season and do some boarding or some skiing. I know I certainly would love to. It's good news for you. Tracking further to the east coast, we have this low pressure system. It's actually a nor'easter, and it is bringing widespread precipitation through Monday into Tuesday for Atlantic Canada. Now, depending on where you are on the east coast, that determines what type of precipitation you will see. So this is quite slow moving. By Wednesday, we'll see it taper off, high pressure pushing in, bringing with it some clear skies, but snow. Unfortunately, that is the story for you, New Brunswick. 10 to 15 centimeters for central and northern portions. For Fredericton, 5 to 10 centimeters through tonight into Tuesday. As we track further east into Nova Scotia, that precipitation changes to rain. Now, it's also important to note that along the shores of the Bay of Fundy, right in here, we could be seeing some mixing, potentially some freezing rain on Monday morning. So take a little extra time if you need to get somewhere Monday morning. That Monday morning commute, same story that we have in the GTA, take some extra time. Better safe than sorry. 30 to 40 millimeters of rain expected for most of Nova Scotia. And as we track further north to Newfoundland, particularly along the western coast, we're seeing 10 to 20 centimeters of snow for Corner Brook and Deer Lake through Tuesday. Keep in mind that has to do with Gulf effect snow and also the higher elevation. As we track further east along the island, well, that changes from snow to rain. So St. John's through Tuesday, you're looking at anywhere between 15 and 30 millimeters. Halifax, well, it's not going to be too bad in terms of temperature for your Monday morning, but like I said, quite a bit of rain. Now let's take you further across the country to Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Monday, we're looking at a high of 11 degrees. Flurries, we may see the sun poke out just a little bit, but it won't be too significant. Snow is the big story for you. Now, if you would ever like to send in your photos or videos, you can do so at upload.theweathernetwork.com, but only if it's safe to do so. But we love to have you a part of our weather story. Now, through Manitoba, we are seeing some snowfall through Tuesday. This icon right here indicates blowing snow. So the snow that's falling is very dry. You couple that with a strong wind, and the road conditions can be poor due to low visibility. All right, coming up, we will continue our storm watch coverage. Don't go anywhere. We'll guide you through.
Brush off your entire vehicle.
A very important safety tip. Thanks so much for that, Natalie. I'm Michelle Mackey. Thank you so much for tuning into the Weather Network. Our storm watch coverage continues. Let's start off in northwestern Ontario, where we are seeing significant snowfall from Sunday night through until Tuesday. Marathon, for example, looking at 10 to 25 centimeters of snow to accumulate by Tuesday. Now, that also has to do with lake effect snow. Driving is going to be a major issue. So we are urging everyone, particularly in the GTA, to take some extra time on your Monday morning commute. So where are we looking at? Well, along the shores along Lakeshore and QEW, the Gardiner Expressway, it should be wet on the roads. We won't see much of an accumulation of snow, but nonetheless, because this is the first significant snowfall of the season, we are going to see people driving very slow. Not everyone has their snow tires on yet, so give yourself some extra time. Take caution when you are doing that Monday morning commute, because it's really going to stick around for most of the morning, but the drive home should be clearing, so that's the good news. Now, how much snow are we talking about through Tuesday? Well, for the Toronto area, we're looking at less than 5 centimeters. So we head slightly further north for most of Ontario, we're getting low pressure system snow. We're looking at anywhere between 5 and 10 centimeters. Now, the big snowfall is going to be north into cottage country. So Parry Sound, for example, looking at 15 to 25 centimeters through Tuesday. Similar story down through the Golden Horseshoe. We had some special weather statements that had been issued by Environment Canada earlier on Sunday. And also really want to note here that our meteorologists think that these areas could possibly see upwards of 25 centimeters of snow. So keep that in mind, stay with us, and we'll keep you posted as the week goes. Now let's take a look ahead here. Ottawa, Monday, we are seeing that snow. It should be clearing up by the evening. It will last longer throughout the day. Tuesday, Wednesday, the sun begins poking out as high pressure begins building back into the province. But now let's take you to the East Coast. This was the scene in Newfoundland. I certainly would not want to be in Ship Cove on Saturday. That looks like some very nasty weather, and unfortunately, looks like that nasty weather is going to continue through this week. Yes, we have a nor'easter that is moving into Atlantic Canada, and it is packing quite a punch in terms of precipitation. It's going to be widespread Monday through until Wednesday. Depending on where you are, that determines what type of precipitation you will see. So if you're in New Brunswick, you're more likely to see snow. If you're in Nova Scotia, rain. And as we travel north into Newfoundland, that becomes mixing. Montreal and Quebec, Monday, we're at a high of 2. We will see that mixing. It will start off the day with snow for the most part. And as we travel throughout the evening hours, that turns to rain. But again, if you're in Montreal, make sure you give yourself some extra time on that commute. All right, coming up, our storm watch coverage continues. Port Perry earlier on Sunday, and wow, quite a bit of snow as you can see behind her. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Weather Network during our live storm watch. My name is Michelle Mackey. Taking a look across the country, let's begin in northern Ontario. We are looking at very cool temperatures for Monday morning. Thunder Bay, for example, -10, and as you can see, yes, quite a bit of snow in the forecast. So do take care. Do you have your snow tires on? We've been getting lots of safety tips for driving in the snow this time of year because you really do, it is the season, have to get the snow tires on now as soon as you can. And the shops really start to get booked up, the car shops, this time of year. Monday morning through southern Ontario, we're seeing temperatures in the low single digits. Toronto, we're at 1, but we have those flurries very widespread, as you can see. And lake effect snow through northeastern parts along the Great Lakes. We have quite a bit of fetch building up that moisture, and we do want you to take a little bit of extra time for your Monday morning commute because we're seeing all of that snow Monday morning, particularly along the QEW and along those major highways where millions of people travel to get to work. So there won't be much in terms of accumulation, but because it is the first significant snowfall of the year, people are going to be taking it slow. Give yourself some extra time. Better slow than sorry. All right, let's take it to the East Coast now to Nova Scotia. Not the nicest scene, I will admit, but the good news is for Nova Scotia anyways, this won't be the scene for Monday through to Wednesday. You'll be getting rain instead. I'm not sure if that's any better, but hey, it could be. At least you don't have to get your snow tires on maybe quite as fast, right? All right. Temperature-wise, Halifax, we're sitting at 6 degrees. That's pretty on par with our seasonal average. St. John, 0, and we're seeing some mixed flurries through Monday morning. As we travel into Monday morning, looking at this precipitation, this nor'eastern is really bringing with it widespread precipitation. Now, where you are on the East Coast, that's going to determine what type of precipitation you will see. So through New Brunswick, we're looking at snow. Through Nova Scotia, we're looking at rain, and we're seeing some mixing as we head further north into Newfoundland. All right, let's take a look at some of our temperatures through the prairies. Really chilly. That is our big story this week. We have a ridge of high pressure, which is keeping all of that cold air in place. Now, the sun will be shining. That's the good news. But yeah, these temperatures, when we factor in the wind chill, you really need to bundle yourself up, bundle up the kids before they go to school because it is very brisk. Monday afternoon, we're seeing those temperatures rise slightly, but again, still -10 in Saskatoon, -10 in Regina as well. Let's take you now to BC. This is the scene in Kelowna, BC, and it's the time of year for harvesting ice wine. Looks like fun. Makes me a bit thirsty. How about those temperatures for the East Coast? We're going to be seeing temperatures around the 9-degree mark, which is pretty on par for our seasonal average for Vancouver, Monday through until Wednesday. And all of this high pressure, we have a southerly flow of wind warming up this coast. But as we get into the prairies, you'll see the northerly winds. That's really pushing down that cold air throughout our work week. Calgary, we see -9 on Monday morning. I also do want to mention we have a fog advisory in place for Edmonton. Patchy, dense fog in store through Sunday overnight. Stay tuned. Storm watch coverage continues after this, as the snow is coming for the GTA on Monday morning. Thanks so much for tuning into the Weather Network. My name is Michelle Mackey, and if you would like to submit any photos or videos, you can do so at upload.theweathernetwork.com. We would love for you to share in our weather story. All right, through Tuesday, we are looking at significant snowfall through northwestern Ontario, 5 to 10 centimeters for Pickle Lake and 10 to 25 centimeters to accumulate through Marathon by Tuesday. Now, that also has to do with lake effect snow. As we track further to the west through Manitoba, we're looking at 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, this icon here indicates that we will be seeing blowing snow. Very dry snow. It's not that dense packing snow. So you couple that with wind, it makes for very poor driving conditions, low visibility. So make sure you take caution on the roads. Very important this time of year. How much snow are we looking at through Ontario? Well, Toronto through Tuesday, less than 5 centimeters. And this system snow is quite widespread. The darker blue indicates 5 to 10 centimeters. And as we head further north, Cottage Country region, the white areas, 15 to 25 centimeters, and that's a similar story for the Golden Horseshoe. And Natalie, our very own Natalie Thomas, was in Parry Sound Sunday afternoon. Here she is with a great story.
Well, you can certainly tell out on the roads that the salters or the de-icing agents have been
time.
lake effect snow, but all of the snow set for the GTA as well. Slick conditions for that Monday morning commute will be one of the biggest stories. And of course, this system then goes into Atlantic Canada. For more details on what it will do for the Maritimes, we'll send things back inside to the studio.
Thanks for that, Natalie. We'll get to that in just a second. First of all, that looked like a fun little slip and slide you had going on there. Now, lake effect snow will be affecting the GTA Monday morning commute. So really want to stress to take some extra time to get to where you need to go, whether it's dropping off the kids, whether it's getting to work. Please take some time. We're not looking at significant snowfall amounts along the 401, the 400, the 407, QEW. The issue is it's the first significant snowfall of the season, which means people are going to be going slow, taking extra caution. Not everyone has their snow tires on. Keep that in mind. If you have your snow tires on, everyone is not in the same boat as you, so take some time. Better slow and safe. Let's head to the East Coast now, like Natalie was mentioning earlier, to Moncton, New Brunswick. We saw some flurries throughout the weekend. Will that continue? Well, yes, it will. We have a nor'easter that's bringing widespread precipitation to the east coast of Canada. As you can see, Monday through Tuesday will be the most significant precipitation. Depending on where you are in Atlantic Canada determines what type of precipitation you will be seeing. So through New Brunswick, we're looking at snow, particularly through central and northern regions. We're looking at 10 to 15 centimeters tonight through until Tuesday. As we track further towards the east, it changes from snow to rain. Halifax, 30 to 45 millimeters. Further north to Newfoundland, 10 to 20 centimeters for Corner Brook and Deer Lake. All right, stay tuned. Our storm watch coverage continues right after this. Thanks so much for tuning into the Weather Network. My name is Michelle Mackey as we continue our live storm watch coverage. Let's begin. Well, where shall we begin? Canada. How about that? This is a beautiful picture of Canada, our nation, and as you can see, these snow bands across Ontario, that is going to be our big story for Monday morning, particularly the Monday morning commute. Now, for more information on the GTA Monday morning commute, do make sure you head to theweathernetwork.com. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Scott, wrote a wonderful article detailing all of the safety tips for winter driving and what you need to know for that Monday morning commute. Here's our radar right now over Ontario, so you can see all of this lake effect snow affecting cottage country area, and that's going to begin to dip down and affect parts of southern Ontario, particularly the GTA, on Monday morning. So please make sure you give yourself some extra time to get to work, to get the kids to school, because you're going to need it. Better slow and safe than fast and sorry. All right, we're going to take you to some footage here now of Tobermory, Ontario. This was Sunday. Yikes, would not want to be driving through that. Now, if you would like to submit any photos or videos, you can do so at upload.theweathernetwork.com, but only if it's safe to do so. Keep that in mind. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers. How much snowfall are we expecting through Tuesday? Well, for much of Ontario, we're seeing system snow, 5 to 10 centimeters of accumulation. Through Toronto, it's going to be less than 5 centimeters. But the reason we're really stressing this GTA Monday morning commute is because it's the first significant snowfall of the season. And it was also the first snowfall on Sunday for Quebec as well. We take you now to this footage. Do you have your snow brush ready for the cars? Make sure. And as Natalie was saying earlier, make sure you dust off the entire car, because if you leave that little bit in the center of the car on the roof, it's going to fly off and really affect everyone else driving around you. So it really makes for some unsafe conditions. Let's take a look at the numbers of snow through Quebec, how much will accumulate. Good news for Mount Tremblant, 10 to 15 centimeters through Tuesday. The ski resort opens on Friday, so as much snow as they can get, the better. And if you want to get out for a nice snowboard or ski, fingers crossed they'll have enough for you to do so come Friday. All right, Monday morning, well, we are seeing a nor'easter that's really affecting Atlantic Canada. Widespread precipitation, depending on where you are in Atlantic Canada, determines what type of precipitation you will be seeing. So through New Brunswick, we have snow. Through Nova Scotia, we have rain. And up in Newfoundland, we have some mixing. Snow is the story for Manitoba, Winnipeg area, looking at anywhere from less than 5 centimeters, but as we head further north, 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, this icon here indicates blowing snow. The snow that is falling is quite dry, so you couple that with strong winds, makes for really poor driving conditions, very low visibility. All right, let's take you further east now, shall we? This is from Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Thank you so much for sending that in, Norma. Beautiful day, but quite chilly. We have a ridge of high pressure sitting over the prairies that is really keeping all of that cold air locked in place, and that's a trend that really does continue throughout the week. Monday morning, Regina, minus 15. So we are well below our seasonal average. When we couple in the wind chill, feeling more like minus 24. So you really want to make sure you bundle up the kids nice and warm before they go to school. If they're out at recess, they're going to be very chilly. All right, and through our nation, well, that's that big nor'easter that's affecting Atlantic Canada come Monday, that ridge of high pressure through the prairies, and we're seeing very mild temperatures on the west coast, around 9 degrees, so we're right on par with that seasonal average, and we're going to be seeing sun in Vancouver Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so get out and enjoy it, because that rain comes back on Wednesday night. All right, stick around. Our Storm Watch coverage continues after. Thanks so much for tuning into the Weather Network during our live Storm Watch coverage. My name is Michelle Mackey, guiding you through the evening. Now let's take a look on Twitter. We've been getting a ton of tweets using the hashtag ONStorm. Make sure you use that if you tweet us at the Weather Network, because that basically classifies all of your pictures and tweets in one area, so it's easy for us to find and post online as well. You might get your 15 minutes of fame. So this was a photo taken by its_Jeremy, and this was south of St. Catharines. About 2 to 3 centimeters of snow have fallen. So again, if you would like to tweet us, you can do so, or you can upload your photos or your videos at upload.theweathernetwork.com and join in our weather story. All right, let's take a look at our radar over Ontario. We are seeing these snow bands around Sarnia area right now. Through Tuesday, as we travel further north, we're looking at 5 to 10 centimeters to accumulate in the Pickle Lake region. Further south, Marathon, Cottage Country area, we're looking at even more. Now, I want to point out in Manitoba, this little symbol here, that indicates blowing snow. So we have a lot of dry snow. You couple that with strong northerly winds, and it makes for very poor driving conditions, low visibility. So make sure you are always safe when you're driving, and that's going to be a big story through the GTA on your Monday morning commute, because it is the first big significant snowfall of the season, and we're not going to see too much snow even accumulating on the roads. But the point is, because it's the first one, people are going to be extra cautious. Not everyone has their snow tires on quite yet. Maybe a sign to book your appointment to get them on as soon as you possibly can. Let's take a look at the numbers. So we're seeing system snow through most of Ontario, but through Tuesday, around 5 to 10 centimeters of accumulation, less than 5 through Toronto. But as we get further north into Parry Sound, Cottage Country, that's where we really start to see that snow build up. 15 to 25 centimeters, and that's a similar story for the southern areas of the Golden Horseshoe. Temperatures through northern Ontario well below seasonal as well. It's going to feel very cold. Thunder Bay, -10. We are going to see some sun poke out through the flurries, but nonetheless, when we factor in the wind chill, feeling like -18. So make sure you bundle up the kids before they go to school. They're going to need all the warmth they can get. Further south into Ontario, it's going to feel slightly warmer, -1 for Toronto, pardon me, and -3 when we factor in the wind chill. Now, our very own Natalie Thomas was in Parry Sound on Sunday afternoon. Here she is with the latest.